Yeah.
All right. So how do we want to work this for the? We just want to start off with Tanya and go on. Just go in
So
order, or what?
did we talk
Sorry,
about
Jade. I meant
uh,
not Tanya.
Jingle or no, or is
I
more on
mean,
its way?
guys, if you're watching this, then there's a good chance you already know Shujinko's story, and because this is already going to take a long time, and we don't have too much time before the movie comes out. We're recording this on the 8th of April, so we have only a few days left. And because I think Shujinko would take forever because there's literally an entire story mode dedicated to him, we'll just cover him at a later date when we watch all the cutscenes from the game itself, and then we'll kind of do our live commentary over that. So we will talk about that at a later date. But essentially, once we talk about the what happens in the when we do like a summary of what happens in the main story, that'll be our Shujinko portion.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty much fair enough to him.
Hmm. Yeah, we can start with Jade and go from there.
All right. So
So I'll do Jade, and we just do alternate the characters.
yeah, I mean, we can just kind of like instead of reading the whole thing, we can just kind of talk about what happened to him.
Well, yeah, like I'm not gonna read the word for word,
Yeah.
but very much what happened with Jade is that I guess she was, I'm not sure where, they didn't say where she was when everything was happening with the Daily Alliance. But by the time she came to go to help Katana, she realized that, well, she was already too late. Katana and the Earthworm allies have been killed. And as she's trying to mourn her friend's death, she sees a figure in the background coming towards the palace of Samsung's temple.
Yeah.
She hides and she watched Onaga revive her best friend, but she's evil now. And after that, she finds um she goes back to Indiana and she sees that Sindel's in prison, and Katana is guarding her. And I give Sindel respect because she won't fight her own daughter, sort of. But Jay's like, this is for the best, and just kicks her ass and release Sindel. And as Onaga realizes what happened, they um kind of start screaming and like pretty much alerting everyone else. So everyone, Jane and Sindel leaves, and guess who she sees before she leaves at the portal? That's the last thing she sees.
Melina.
Tanya.
Oh, I was so close.
Well, Tanya, and that's pretty much like starts the whole thing. Like, all right, you have Katana and Melina who have their rivalry, and you have Jade and Tanya who has
Yeah.
theirs. I wish they would get them both in the same game. I want to see like their interaction with each other.
Especially because they made Jake really cool in MK11. So
Oh yeah. Well, they gave Jade her actual own story finally.
yeah,
Maybe one day we'll get a game with them both in there, and they can talk to each other and just see what the interaction what is.
definitely that would be ideal. Especially because there's so much you can really do with it.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking when certain characters have like a rivalry or they're similar to each other, you want to see that interaction. So, like for
Definitely.
example, the movies did Sub Zero and Scorpion in the way where they never talk to each other. So that's why everyone was so okay, so happy with MKX intro, so you can actually see those conversations with each other. The only problem is like sometimes they don't give you any. Sometimes they won't spoil anything for you in the MKX dialogue. So like you had no idea that Sub Zero and Scorpion were cool with each other now.
It just kind of
But
happens. Yeah.
but yeah, that's pretty much Jade's story right now. She's late to save Katana, so she saves Sindel, and she now sees Tanya's helping the Dragon King now. Because Tanya apparently also was helping the Deadly Alliance. So that's three big bads. She helped all three of them so far.
Which is kind of like weird, right? Especially considering how it is now. Like, I mean, you kind of would have expected something different from Jade because she was, of course, the best friend of Katana and all that stuff. But But all right, they decided to go a different
Well,
route.
they I mean, they had to give her. They had to give a reason why she wasn't in Deadly Alliance, pretty much.
Hmm.
So pretty much the only thing they could really say is that she was just too late to save Katana when she found out everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe once they finally, I love Lost, but I wish they would hurry up with these when they do their research. And I think we should take our time with them a little bit more. But we're on the schedule, so that's why we're king. But um, they take way too long. I feel like we go way too fast sometimes. But
Yeah, I mean, we could technically not try to get it out before the movie comes out, but if we want to do it before the movie comes out, then we do have to kind of be a bit more. We have to be a bit
well,
quicker.
like we can just we're not saying like when we watch the movie like it's gonna come out the same day. That's my thing.
Yeah,
So we can still do all this stuff leading up to it. But
for sure, for sure.
but my point being is I wish the Lost will hurry up and get to certain characters like you want to hear about them more because you're like thinking, all right, what was this person actually doing at this time?
Mostly because I mean, like, honestly, they are like by far the best at it. Like, and I guess maybe part
Exactly.
of being the best at it is the amount of time that they put into research. And of course, they also
Yeah.
I think both of them have jobs and all that stuff too, so they
Well,
probably don't
everyone
have
has
too
stuff.
much time.
Yeah.
They have what?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like history behind the warrior as well, but like I said, we get like a whole hour plus of them talking about characters
Oh, way more than that. I would say
versus
yeah, like 3 hours for some. Yeah,
sometimes
yeah. Sub Zero was
like some
multiple hours.
three
Yeah,
parts,
yeah. So
3 parts, and I think Quality was 2 parts.
yeah,
No, it was like a 4-parter for the Sub Zero alone.
yeah. It was one for Bihan, two for Kai Lang, and then one for their appearances
There,
in like in other media.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
yeah.
plenty.
Anything you want to add to Jade's
No,
point
not really,
now,
not
or
really. Problem is that
I
like
think
there's not so much to go on with a lot of these characters because it focuses so much on Shujinko. So
well, yeah, because like I said, some of these people like they do get a spot in his story, but the spot doesn't make sense fully unless you read between the lines or like I said, listen to them instead. Like maybe they can help you figure it out. But I say that because Jade, for example, she is holding the Outworld Kamigoku, and you have to beat her up for it. It doesn't say why she hasn't. I think it does. I probably have to go back and listen to it. This is why we gotta do that. But yeah, after all that's being said and done, it's been years since I played that story mode. So
yeah, me too.
all right,
Me
so
too.
first or second costume, which one do you like more?
Probably the first.
See, I'm the opposite. I like the second one
Really?
more.
Why?
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
Well, I feel like the second one is more of a ninja look,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
the first one, the first one is more like a visor look, sort of. But it's like, why do you need a sexy advisor, pretty much?
Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm kind of like you in the sense that I usually like the primaries more, and I don't unless it's like Johnny Cage with his teal suit in MK9 or something like that. I tend to use the primary more, but
True.
I don't know. It might just be like more because I was just I didn't really play as her much anyway, so
Yeah.
didn't care too much
Well,
about it.
I'm like some people. Like, yeah, I want to see the faces of the ninjas sometimes, but it's like also I'm like, if you're a ninja, you should have a mask on to stuff you're a ninja. And also, I think this is more close to the compared to the other costumes because Katana looks a lot like it. Jay looks a lot like these are like really close to their MK 3 costumes compared to some other stuff you'll get in the future. These are
Yeah.
probably the closest you'll get to it. Even Tanya has one like it. The only person who doesn't have like a quote unquote MK3 costume in newer games besides in 9 is Melina.
And of course,
And
Melina
yeah,
also had that
that's
amazing challenge tower costume.
I mean, I'm already on there now showing. looking at Melina's costumes at this point. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and just talk about her now.
Okay. Well, let me pull
Okay.
her up then. There she is. Okay.
So Melina's first part is just explaining who she is, and she's literally what we already know, a hybrid between Katana and Tarkatan. And when this kind of like, so it does tell us that Katana's ending the canon one from MK4. When she first confronted Katana, then she was sent to the dungeon downstairs underneath the castle until Baraka was then eventually set her free. So her hatred for Katana consumes her every thought, and Baraka tells her that, "Hey, if you want to get back at Katana, well, you guess what? She's now possessed by the Dragon King as his bodyguard, and he needs you to pretend to be her now, so you can be Katana, and pretty much ruin her good name at this point." That's pretty much what her story is.
Yeah, nothing special about it, but it's not one of the worst ones in there.
For what it does continue off of who she is, though. It
Yeah,
kind of explains why she's more crazy and trying to over sexify herself, I guess, because she doesn't think she's good enough on her own.
yeah, she's
The
trying
only
to
thing,
overcompensate.
exactly. Now, one thing I will say that did throw me for a loop, and I kind of wish they did, because it is a nice costume. So I'm gonna go and ask you this: first or second costume? Which one do you prefer?
First, for sure, primary.
Agreed. Agreed. Now, in Ermax and Sindel's ending, you get literally a picture of Katana being in there, and she's wearing the same costume as Melina, just in blue.
Yeah, not a fan of that. With Melina, like we said,
See,
it works. But sorry, what?
I don't mind it though. I like that. If
Mm.
it was blue, I don't
Oh,
know, but I think before I kind of wish they did that, but at the same time, like I'm okay like that they didn't.
yeah. I don't know. I don't
But
like Katana looking like that. I don't know. I feel like
true,
it's fine with Melina because that's her whole gimmick. Is she's trying to overcompensate for her mouth and all that stuff, and she has this inferiority complex. But
no,
with Katana,
yeah.
not quite as much.
So for this story, it makes slightly sense, but not fully because of the fact that it's literally like I said, say so I'm putting somebody in a dress. Onaga put her in that same outfit, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like why?
Yeah.
But all right,
I mean,
that's
it's a
fine.
nice outfit, but at the same time, I see like this works better for Melina than it does for Katana.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. All right. Shall we just go into Kenshi, who's next up? I have pulled up
Yep.
on the list.
All right, I'll let you do it.
All right. Yeah. So Kenshi, when we first, because remember this is all it's spoken about in first person. Basically, Kenshi is saying he was almost dead after his fight with Movado, but then Sub-Zero found him and he basically healed him, and the souls of his ancestors told him where. About the return of the sword. He figured that Shang Tsung was pretty much dead, but he didn't know by who or how he died. And basically, having no more reason to stay in Outworld, he decides to follow to help Sub-Zero, align himself with Sub-Zero, and then try to find a way to get back to Earthrealm. Because remember, he's stuck in Outworld. He traveled with Sub-Zero to the same portal that took him to Outworld, and he noticed that his armor was actually damaged in the battle. He was told about, of course, Hotaru, so they kind of connect everybody in in one way or another. And essentially, what happened is that Hotaru had attacked Sub-Zero for slaying a bunch of Tarkatans. Sub-Zero thought he defeated the warrior, but according to Kenshi, he's not 100% sure about it, and that he he feels like they're being followed by somebody. So there's really not too much to go on. They are continuing his story from Deadly Alliance. Essentially, his whole thing is him and Sub-Zero just trying to get the Earth realm, and they feel like they're being followed. That's pretty much the.
Well, that is confirmed that they are being followed
Mm-hmm.
in their stories, but at the same time as well, I'm pretty sure I know how it ends. But Sub Zero, the currents are being jumped. By the endings, you do see like they could all confirm what happened, pretty much, besides Rotaro.
Yeah, they get attacked
Like
by a bunch of
they're
people.
canon, but they're not canon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Costume wise, what do you prefer? I think primary probably.
I like the,
Second one probably actually. Yeah.
uh, I mean, the primary gives him more armor, but it kind of like where those I don't know. Let me try to see if I can see a better version of
Well,
it.
he's got symbols on his nipples.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
weird.
and they're like bigger too, cause it's like boobs. They just added boobs to him almost.
Yeah.
But so I agree with you there. But I do. I think I like the second one more, cause the traditional one.
You know what? I feel like the second one, yeah, like you said, it's the traditional one, but because I feel like he's very much based on Daredevil, it looks more like something you would see from Daredevil. So I just feel like it just fits him more.
Yeah, I mean that cost, but the second one's in every game going forward
Yep,
now.
and that's his costume. That's his real one. So
Yeah.
perfect.
All right, Scorpion.
All right. You want to take Scorpion or I'll do him? Whatever you want.
Me and you.
All right.
And then what's our tech turns after that?
All right. Sounds good. All right. So basically, Scorpion. Of course, if you guys remember, he was from in Deadly Alliance. He was on Quan Chi's ass trying to kill him, and of course, he was getting interrupted by Moloch and Draman. Uh, he was ambushed by him, and of course, he was cast into a Solnado, which everybody thought, that's pretty much the end of Scorpion. However, he was able to escape into the Void. It was there that he first set eyes on the Elder Gods, and essentially what they do is they select him to be the new champion of the Elder Gods. Now, that's kind of weird because Scorpion, traditionally has always just kind of been there for his own thing. So for him to be the champion of the Elder Gods to stop the Dragon King is kind of weird. But I guess it kind of gives him a bit more responsibility and a bit more development for his character.
Yes, and there's a little bit more tab that you forgot to add to, and they kind of talk about it a little bit um in the Armageddon side. The whole point of the Scorpion, like Scorpion, used to go for himself. He has his own ambitions.
Yeah.
So what they agreed to do to him is to
Oh yeah,
bring
yeah. His
his
entire clan.
family back to life.
Yeah, yeah.
The problem with that, though, and we'll see it when we go over Armageddon stuff. Um, he, they pretty much they brought his family and clan back to life, but as undead revenants, pretty much same as he is.
They basically screwed they kind of tricked his ass basically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, as
that was
always.
kind of,
But costume wise, what do you prefer? I always like the primary for this one.
I like you. The primary is cool. Don't get me wrong, but I do like the traditional UMK3.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a good looking costume. That's for damn sure. I don't know. I've just always liked the deception look for Scorpion. It might be a little bit
Oh,
too much. It's a little bit overboard, but I just really like it.
there's too many extra straps. I feel like he
Too
has
many
straps on his
straps.
arms, straps on his thighs,
There's the spikes on his
and
shoulders. Yeah, this.
and then also it's kind of like let me see if we can get a better look at it. Like I get what they're trying to go with, like the black parts be like armor or like chainmail, but I don't know. It looks really more plastically versus his alternate being more of a traditional look, and also, and maybe I'm just not noticing it now, but if you look at his left arm, his forearms on the alternate,
Yeah.
they kind of have like a scorpion stinger, so when he throws the
Hmm.
speed out, it kind of looks cooler.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, but yeah, I don't know. That's just me. I like the alternate better.
Yeah, fair enough. They're both really, really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, they both are, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It's like every time I play the game, I go with that one, but I also don't play with Scorpion like that ever.
Mm.
So, all right. So Baraka,
Baraka.
you do that so much better than I can.
Baraka.
Okay. So they talk about who he is. Like saying how he's a savage race of nomadic warriors, and they've served pretty much every boss of Shinnok. Shao Kahn, Sing Song, Quan Chi, they all have died now. And he believed that they were all weak. But his new master is so much powerful, which is Onaga. And he has ordered them to distract the other allies and pretty much have like it was Baraka is like the errand boy to tell Melina to beat Katana and go ahead and like lead them away from us so we can still make progress. Like the whole plan was to have Melina pose a katana and um to pose this katana and lead them away from Onaga. So he would have Tarkans there as well. But the whole thing was that Melina's gonna lead them away from Onaga so they would never reach their goal. Which was a smart plan overall. There's just some problems. Everyone wants to be a chief, but no one wants to be a Native American
Amen to that.
because literally what happens in this one, and I like it too because it kind of goes to the trailer they made for the game, where it's like Melina versus Baraka and the Beetleator. Have you seen that before? Or no.
Uh, you mean the trailer? What did you say? You blinked out for a second.
So there was a trailer for the game that you can find in the crypt as
Yeah, yeah.
well.
It's awesome. If it's not, will they
Yeah,
have a fight and all that?
yeah, when Melina and
Yeah, yeah.
Baraka are fighting.
It's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
I kind of want to watch that now too. To be honest, a little later. Um, but the whole thing is that what happened is that Melina started to get a little in her, like start feeling herself a little bit more than she should have been, and she decided to pretty much like, hey, I'm Katana. I'm really Katana. Let's take back this realm and do what needs to be done. So it's where she betrays Onaga and Baraka, and she sends the word out to Baraka saying like she wants to mirror like call the treaty because the only person who knows that she's not Katana is Baraka. I mean, Reptile knows as well, but Reptile is also Onaga right now. We didn't mention that, but Reptile is Onaga.
Yeah. So he's kind of, being used a little bit.
Incapacitated.
Yes.
But he's incapacitated, but so over who like tell everyone the truth because no one knew that everyone thought that Melina was still dead. So Baraka sends a decoy after Melina to meet him in the beetle layer, and she kills him. Now this isn't fully canon. I think it stops right there. Because afterwards, Melina takes after Onaga is defeated, that she takes over our world until Shao Kahn comes back. But all that aside, if the story would ending with being fully canon, Baraka literally kills Melina afterwards for pretty much betraying him. So that's what I mean. Everyone wants to be a chief, but no one wants to be a Native American,
Yeah. They want to get to the top, but they don't want to be. They don't want to.
no matter what the
Yeah.
cost.
They
Yeah,
don't want to do what it's take. Just be a guy. They always want to be the best or nothing.
yeah,
Which is, that's I can accept that, but at the same time when they're all just going for the same thing
Yeah,
and never achieving it either. So,
true. All right. So first or second costume?
this is one of the more difficult ones for me because I like both, but I do think the secondary. I like the shoulder pads on him more, and I just feel like it's
Mm,
more. I don't know. I just feel like it's more Baraka.
yeah. One last thing too, like I mentioned already, like that one goes to the actual Tarkarians, where the first one is Baraka.
Hmm.
But on
Yeah.
top of that, because like the Hotaro thing, and that's kind of one thing I can think I'm happy with MK11 for is that we actually get Tarkarian to look differently. We haven't got a fat Tarkarian yet, but we have different looking Tarkarian. We have male, we have female. Versus this one where like they all literally look like Baraka.
Yeah. They all dress the same. Everything.
Yeah, not even just dressed the same, like the
Same
facial
look. Everything.
features
Yeah.
just like him.
Yeah.
So you can't tell the difference really if that was the Tarkarian or that was him.
They definitely did a good job with the Tarkatans in the MK11.
Oh yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't know what the fatalities were actually. Uh, nothing really big. But like he still had his same moves though, his chop chop, his shard, and then he had some actual like actually like stuck you with both blades. But all right, Sub Zero, your turn.
All right. So basically, if you guys remember, Luke. Sorry, I was about to say Liu Kang. Um, of
Quiet
course,
Lane.
yeah. Kuai Lang decided to take Frost with him. In Deadly Alliance, and of course that backfired because Frost, as I think we pretty much all could tell, was a bit of a twat.
Frost and Strauss.
Yeah, she was a bit of a cunt, so she basically stole the Dragon Medallion, and because she thought she was way stronger than she actually was, she tries to actually using the medallion's power, and she froze herself. So Sub Zero is basically looking for a place uh, to leave her remains, and then he sees ancient ruins carved into the mountain. So he learned about the whole what the ruins are and all that stuff, and he basically understands that it belonged to people who had a mastery over cold, and of course that means cryomancers, and that basically leads him to understand that in all actuality, yes, he's from Earthrealm, but his ancestors are from Outworld. And of course, he laid Frost's body in the sarcophagus, and he left the catacombs, and just kind of left her where their their ancestors were, or at least what we would expect to be his ancestors. And that's yeah, he basically wears what he found in the catacombs, and that's where he kind of moves forward. That's where he really realized the origin of the cryomancers. And I do want to give a shout out to, once again to the Lost because they did a great job of explaining this in good detail.
Yeah. Now, question: Which
Yes.
one do you rather? Which one do you rather be the cannon armor? The first one or the second one?
Oh, the first one for sure.
I
I hate
know.
the second one. The second one is just so bad. One of the worst
Now,
costumes in the series.
now, one thing we've had to mention though in the last one and Deadly Alliance is the fact that the Dragon Medallion also made him age a lot as well.
Yeah, that is important to mention.
Yeah. So nothing like I mean that's why he looks a lot older going forward.
Yeah.
But um, yeah, this thing you can kind of tell which costumes were the best to them and MK Armageddon because this one and I believe the one from Deadly Alliance. I want to double check real quick. The Ultimate for Deadly Alliance. Those were his two costumes and MK Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
But like overall though, like I like agree. Like I love the first one and I love the story as well because they broke it down for you a lot more when it came to it.
Definitely.
Most.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. Sub Zero is always more and more I look into him, the more I realize he literally is the best character in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. So yeah, I was right on there too. So like I agree. So I think the like you like the alternate version of Sub Zero and Deadly Alliance. I think we both like Primates. Those are two best. Those like the two best costumes they like for him.
Well, for sure, it's not even close. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. But other than that, though, Sub Zero wise, I think that's all we're going to say because other than that, he meets up. As we already talked about, he meets up with Kenshi,
Yep.
and he helps him from there. And afterwards, and we do learn this in Frost's ending and Armageddon's bio, but um, he after Kenshi and him escape from Hutaru again, go to Earthrealm. He goes back to the Lin Kuei and he finds Frost murdering everybody because she is crazy now. After she wakes up from our world, she breaks out the ice. No, she not even like frozen. She come to and gets out the dirt. She's hunting Sub Zero down. So every Lin Kuei that it looks like that's wearing blue now, which is the whole Lin Kuei nowadays, she starts to kill them. Sub Zero decides to freeze her and let her, um, in a way, like freeze her and let her think, but until she like lose her craziness. And once that's all done, he said she will answer for her crimes going forward. And I'm just like, this guy can't catch a break at all.
Yeah, he's almost too nice for his own good.
Well, no, like he brought Frost out there on a. Okay, so I kind of mixed that up first. So at this point, we learned from Armageddon. We can never find the bios for it, but after he leaves Outworld, he ends up running into Serena, and Serena tells him that she knows his brother, Bihan. And so they go to another one to find Bihan, and we'll stop there until we get to that character now. But that's what's happening now. So before she goes back to Earthrealm, she goes to another one first, and that's how we get there in his ending. So let's go ahead and do Sindel.
All right. So it's your turn.
Okay. So once again, our world has invaded India. They just need to come up with something new, first of all, because they keep getting invaded by the same people.
Yeah, they just keep on repeating the same storyline.
Yeah. But this time as well, like we discussed in Jay's bio, um, Onaga used Katana to guard Sindel because Sindel won't attack her own daughter. And if it wasn't for Jade, she would have been stuck there the entire time. But they now they after they free Jade and lock up Katana, they are looking for a way to figure out what he's looking for. Sindel will figure that because of the fact that Shao Kahn had around for 10,000 years that he destroyed everything of India or any of the secrets. But there, what he's looking for is a way to combine all the comic books as one, so he can have be the one being. Because that's the thing too. Like the one being is that technically controlling people. He did with Onaga before, and Shao Kahn stopped him. They deal with Shao Kahn, and now he's dealing it into Onaga again, so he can come back from out the void. And
Yeah,
Sindel and Jade.
I wonder if they're able to do anything with the one being, like make him a
The
big
what?
boss.
Oh, the one being.
Yeah, yeah.
But the whole point of it too is like the one being is the thing that eats elder gods. That's literally what he does. So yeah, we got elder gods for MK11, but we shouldn't have done that first of all because they didn't do her any justice. And just confirm everyone else's belief is the fact that the elder gods are pointless.
They're pretty much garbage. Yeah.
Yeah. But I agree. I wish the one being could be in a game, but I don't want them to do him no justice either. I'm kind of okay with him just possessing, like controlling other people. until they can make a roster that is actually. Because my thing is, I don't want us sending the U.S. Army up to heaven now. We already sent them to hell. So we're now putting them to beyond heaven, and our guns are going to be able to kill the one being.
I mean,
Now,
it
if they give
wouldn't
them a
really make any
fighting
sense,
skill,
no. But
it's be really hard. And with the people we have now, it's kind of hard to have faith in that.
yeah,
Even myself can't even think of anything like that. I thought of some stuff like that, but it's like even then, it's like it's colluded. And how do you really justify it unless you do? We can talk about that off screen too. And like
yeah, yeah.
I want, we can talk about that. But my whole point is like it's really hard to pull off, especially in the video game where everyone gets to beat the one being in their tower and things. So
Yeah. Among your costumes though, what do you think? I'm thinking I like the primary, but I don't know. I might go with the secondary.
I agree. Like I always use the primary, but I do like the secondary because it makes her look more queenish. Versus, I mean, it works either way. Um, I don't know. I think I agree with you. Like I like the first one. That's one I always go with, but the second one's a little bit better in my eyes.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
like it's really close.
Yeah, I think it looks really really good. The second one, first one looks good too, but the second one's better.
Well, like the
Uh,
first one's the more like her MK3 look. I can see that
yeah,
almost.
this is more like an evolution of it.
Yeah,
Um,
but
so who should we
her
move on to next?
she had. She still had the scream. She still had the star scream. She had the banshee scream. She doesn't have any hair moves. I realized.
Yeah, I think it was probably because they had a hard time animating it.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's something they had problems with MK9 as well, but
Yeah.
they didn't really get the hair done right until this one. All right. So you want to go from left? You want to go right?
I'm thinking we just go to Tanya if we want to keep it like thematic with Sindel.
Edenia.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you probably know more about Tanya if you want to take it to her too.
Sure. I read a little bit of it yesterday. Um, let's see. So apparently she was an enforcer for the Daily Alliance, and that's one thing that I mentioned just earlier. But she preferred the term ambassador. Ambassador. Fuck you. But pretty much it was she was pretty much the equivalent of Kano. Not a general, but pretty much like they enforced the. She was an enforcer, pretty much. And when the once they literally as soon as the same song and Quan Chi won, they turned on each other and they lost, and then Raiden killed all three of them when he tried to kill Onaga. So now she is leaderless because her and she's trying to go back to India where she pretty much fucked everyone over there too with Shinnok. And then she finds Baraka and he tells her to either serve Onaga or die. And you need to keep in mind this as well. Tanya is like the same age as Jade and Katana as well. So she's like 10,000 years old.
So she knows her shit.
Yeah, well, that's literally what she says. She's like that. I didn't live for 1,000 years because I didn't make the right decision. So she served Onaga, and Onaga was aware of, like I said, well, this kind of goes back to why he was in India. That the British, when the Dragon King he knew Winners was watching Shao Kahn over on like his shoulder, and he watched him invade India and watch India get away. And Tanya knows where the text for the spell he needs to fuse the Kamidoku, and she's gonna help him do it. So pretty much, and that's why Tanya was with Onaga when Jay saw her. Now, here's the one thing I will say: Tanya is evil. Don't get me wrong, because even in her combat card, it says that she's alignment is evil. However, in this situation, she's she's evil, but she's not evil because of the fact that it's kind of forced on her to do so by Baraka, and she wants to live. But I don't know. I think Jay kind of goes a little too far in her ending when it comes to dealing with Tanya, because she literally let herself get captured by Tarkatans and Tanya. She throws a glass orb of Tarkatan male scent or something on Tanya, and the Tarkatans just kill her. She literally says, "I don't think she made it out alive."
I mean, you wouldn't think so.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think she. I mean, Tanya has lived for thousands of years. Of course, she made it out alive, but and also it's an uncanny ending. But my whole point is, I think Tanya literally has to make that decision right off the bat. Like, do I die now or deal with the bullshit of Eugenia later?
Yeah.
She was literally trying to go back home at this point.
Poor Tanya.
Well, that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Not too much to say
Okay,
about Tanya. Costume wise, I might go with the secondary.
yeah. Like the first one, the only one I ever used, and like so I didn't like it. But now since I have more of a love for knowing, like actually like trying to put two and two together, I think I like this one because it kind of goes back to our MK4 costume, but it also reminds you of like MK3 if they added that mask.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to Jade's.
Basically.
But yep, that's all we really had to say for her.
Okay.
You can use the new Cyber smoke.
All
New
right.
smoke.
Sounds good. Pulling them up as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
A good combo, by the way. Really, really good combo.
Oh, one thing I will say though, first, I did read this before you got a chance. The second one is the first one.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
So you want to read that one because it's gonna go up.
Okay, sweet. All right. So under Shao Kahn's rule, basically Noob Saibot, and this is from the point of view of Noob Saibot. He hunted enemies of his throne. As a member of the Brotherhood of Shadow, he did pretty much everything that Quan Chi wanted, all while serving Shinnok, who was, of course, the Lord of the Netherrealm, aka the Lord of Hell, who destroyed Lucifer and all that stuff. Now that he's gone, he's finally basically able to do what he wants to do, aka he wants to become the most powerful being in the Netherrealm, basically become the king, and of course he wants, of Outworld, and he wants to basically form a new, not a Lin Kuei, but a new legion of assassins that are only loyal to him. So he wants to do like the Brotherhood of Shadow, but a League of Assassins. His first ally was, of course, Smoke, and who in this case is a cyber ninja, and he found him inoperative. He was basically a war trophy for Shao Kahn. Smoke had been there apparently since the invasion of Earthrealm, and it didn't really take long for Bihan, aka Noob Saibot, to reactivate his nanotechnology, which basically repaired and reshaped his artificial body. So, I mean, like this pairing, from a purely gameplay point of view, I thought was just really, really fun.
Bullshit.
It was bullshit, yeah, but it was also really fun, don't you think?
Yeah, but still bullshit mostly.
It was cheese for sure. If you're playing against him, yeah.
Well, think about it. He was a sub boss, keep in mind, and I don't know about you, but usually when you're a kid, a lot of things like, all right, I can't beat this character with this character, but I bet I can beat him with the same version, with like the same character. So let's say I'm playing with Melina, I can't beat him. All right. Well, I bet so if I don't beat Darius, I can't beat Darius. Like, all right, well, I bet I can beat him with Darius. Doesn't always work like that, but I mean, you think that way as a kid. That didn't mean shit when you played New Smoke versus New Smoke. Like that sub boss was literally like almost unbeatable. I would say sometimes.
He was way harder than Onaga. Once you figure out how to beat Onaga, it was pretty much just a cakewalk. A lot like the new bosses
Yeah.
now. Like once you figure out how to beat them, they're really really easy. But he was a tough one because he had the speed. He didn't fight like a big boss, or he wasn't slow. He wasn't predictable. They were actually really 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 hard to predict, and they were really hard to deal with. And of course, if you're fighting them on a specific arena, like the one I was mentioning earlier, that crumbles all around you, then it becomes really really difficult.
Oh, that's easy for me. I'd rather have that.
Really, because you can just kind of use the arena for you.
Yes. I
Yeah,
think
that's
if you
true.
find new smoke on the falling cliff, then yes, I feel like you have a really good advantage. If you do it anywhere else, especially the Beale layer, you are fucked.
I don't know. I liked that arena a lot, but I always for some reason was I always got lit up on it. I don't know. I guess I was just too stupid to use it the right way.
Let me ask you this: were you on the ledge?
I don't remember honestly. It's been so long.
If you fell off, you were on the ledge. That's the first issue.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm probably gonna play it tomorrow. Not to
You're
sorry,
gonna
not
play it
Deception.
tomorrow.
Now, isn't it? Is it on in Armageddon too?
Yeah, it's an Armageddon.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna play it tomorrow.
Do you have Armageddon on Xbox by chance?
No, on PlayStation 2.
Damn it. I would definitely say send it to me then, like mail it over.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
But no, yeah, I feel like he was just so much harder because they would switch out before you even could. Like there was literally it wasn't a dive kick, but it's like a jump kick move where they would come from the top. Well, I guess it was a dive kick, and they will swap out when they do it as well.
Yeah,
Then the whole combo.
they were hard to shit.
And they're the good. They're the one thing I'm kind of okay with. They didn't have weapons. Not
Hmm.
in Deception, they have weapons.
Yeah, yeah.
They themselves was a weapon.
Yeah,
But
because
I
they could do
do
things
want
that
to
you
know
couldn't.
one thing. One thing I do want to know, which I know will never. I'm not sure if there's a true answer for it or not. But what made them the? Because if you're thinking sub bosses, like with story canonically wise, you would think Baraka pretty much. Because Baraka or Taro, because that's who are aligned with him. Sato and Tarkatans.
Well, I'm glad they went with this. Honestly, like,
Oh yeah, God too.
yeah.
But like that's something I just wonder, like, what made them go with that decision? Besides the fact that it's a cheese move, and you kind of get the same advantage when you learn how to play with new smoke. But so first or second costume?
I think probably. Oof, that's tough. I
Tough
think
one.
second. Second, just because I like Smoke more as a cyborg.
So keep in mind the alternate one is the first one that you see, and the second one, the one that's like I said, that the first one you have to read first. That's the
Yeah,
primary.
you're right. You're right. Yeah, the bottom one.
Okay.
Yeah, so the primary, I guess. Yeah.
I like the second one more because I like smoking more of a ninja. I wish this was the look they went with him instead of being like a human.
Okay.
In MK9, if you saw smoke like this in MK9, I feel like you would have liked that a lot better than what we got. Which only that was smoky about him was his hair.
Yeah, fair enough.
And also I like this jet black version of New. Like, that looks like a wraith.
Yeah, I
Versus
like
the
I
second
like
one,
Noob more in that one, but I just don't like the face that
smoke.
Smoke has.
Yeah. It took me a while to understand that too. So someone finally said like it literally gave you both because they themselves said they had issues like on to make him a full cyborg, make him a ninja because everyone likes both. Like, let's give him both. And I like the Jet Black Noob more because literally this version of him, it looks like somebody who just was in the Nether Realm, pretty much.
Yeah.
This one looks like the one on top of the alternate. That looks like an actual wraith, like an actual pure evil person, demon.
Yeah. I don't know. I just really hate that Smoke look.
I'm pretty sure like that's what you wish that would happen. Like swap the smokes and you've been okay with it.
Basically, yeah. I
And
would have
that's
liked
kind
that a
of what
lot.
they should have done too. I feel like, but so going off of that as well. So continue the whole Sub Zero thing I was going with. So Smoke and Sub Zero finally catches up to Noob Saibot, and that's who Serena was saying. That's who Bihan is now. So spoiler alert, if you didn't know by now, we kind of pretty sure we kind of like said it a couple of times when we didn't want to, but we try our best to keep quiet about it, which we did a kind of good job. I feel like we did, but Noob Saibot is the original Sub Zero Bihan, and I mean, that was the first time anyone. That was literally the first time that was ever known to anyone. So yes, we knew now already. Like, oh well, that's obvious. But even in MK9, I feel like people who played the game for the first time didn't know that, that was Sub Zero.
Yeah, I think it was a surprise for a lot of people even then.
But pretty much Smoke. They both really like recognized who he was though. Because I think Smoke was just reprogrammed again, but he recognized Sub Zero quite a thing from trying to kill him from all those times before, and that's his friend. Noob Saibot even said in his ending, like Noob Saibot was actually impressed with Sub Zero, and probably would, um, if he was still Luke Quay, still human, he probably would have had shown some degree of pride. But literally, like they're trying to kill him. The only way that Sub Zero would have lived if Serena turned to a full demon again, and she attacked both Smoke and Noob Saibot. So that being said, Sub Zero wakes up after being unconscious. He sees a demon, attacks her, because she didn't tell him that she was a demon before. So he attacks Serena, leaves the Nether Realm, go back to Earth, and then the whole thing with Frost happened again.
Yeah, it's an
Again,
interesting
like,
arc.
yeah. But that's just another good thing. Like, Sub Zero actually had probably the best story overall.
Oh, for sure. It's not even close.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so that's you.
Okay, well, let me pull them up. All right. Okay, so basically in Deadly Alliance, we left Bo Raicho to where he, of course, as we know, he is, of course, from Outworld, so he wasn't able to participate in the original tournaments. However, because Deadly Alliance isn't a tournament, it's literally Quan Chi and Shang Tsung trying to invade, he's actually able to participate. And is this a case where the second one takes place? Okay, no, okay, all right. So basically, Baraicho is saying that he's already dealt with Tarkatans before. That Baraka and his thugs were easy to evade as he went into Shang Tsung's palace to rescue Li Mei. He got there basically at perfect timing, and he was able to snatch Li Mei away from the Daily Alliance and take her to safety. And as they were escaping, an alarm sounded, and the Tarkatans started chasing them down the main bridge. After they got past the bridge, he was met by Raiden and all the other heroes that were ready to take on the Deadly Alliance. He gave them, basically wished them glorious victory, but his main concern was taking Li Mei to safety. He then learned about what happened in the palace, that the Dragon King did return, and without any more allies, he basically fears for the entire future of Outworld. So, his whole thing is he's not really there to fight the Dragon King. He's there to rescue Li Mei and then take care of her, basically.
Well, so it wasn't even in fact the Dragon King. The Dragon King haven't came out yet. Keep in mind.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm sorry. He wasn't there to fight the Deadly Alliance. He was there to fight to basically get Li Mei. Yeah.
So after he already trained Katana and Kung Lao, he went there to say they were Katana and Kung Lao rendezvous with Raiden, Sonya, Johnny, and Jax. Barashal went straight to the Daily Alliance to save Li Mei. After he saved her, they sounded the alarm for the Tarkatans to head towards the bridge, and that's where everyone else died besides Katana and Kung Lao. And they ended up dying by Quan Chi and Insane Song themselves. But and now he pretty much even his ending. I think his ending is one of the more canon ones. Because it says itself that he didn't know what to do. He had no faith at all in the future of our world. Liu Kang's spirit gave him guidance and the encouragement to keep fighting, and that's where the alliance with our world and India came in to keep fighting off the Tarkatan hordes. And that was being led by Melina, though, so he just kept fighting, and she would command him. Because he says right here, in the second part, it says Barachos was, I'm not even sure I pronounce that word, but he met with many of our world's leaders to forge a temporary truce. Katana gave him command of what remained of her army. Katana's already dead, so that's Melina giving Barachos control of the whole army. That's where Baraka got pissed off at. Because she started doing her own thing. So, yep.
Yeah. Classic Baraka being a bitch boy.
Alright, Nightwolf.
Alright.
I read this one a little bit yesterday, since I'm a little eager.
Okay.
So, Nightwolf is aware of everything that's going on, especially with everyone's death as well. And to pretty much to do everything, fix everything. I think that's Breath saw yesterday too on the air. But he took the role of a sin eater, where pretty much he took up all the sins from his past lives, his people from the past, took all the sins so he could enter the other realm, and went down to the lower planes and set up a carving. So once everyone was free, I'm assuming, because the alliance was it didn't say some pure and like in detail pretty much, but it was like it was a plan with Ermac, Liu Kang, and Nightwolf. Nightwolf would go to NetherRealm to set up the trap for Onaga's soul, and Ermac and Liu Kang will free their friends from his control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's and his ending is canon as well. So literally what happens in his ending is literally what happens.
Yeah.
Like we will listen to that later. But that's the only reason why Nightwolf was even allowed to be down there. Like after he put all his sins inside the symbol he carved, the NetherRealm kicked him out because he's too pure.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Nightwolf, he definitely has a lot of interesting stuff to him. Like all this stuff is really, really cool. A lot of symbolism, and just a lot of it makes him unique in the universe.
Oh yeah. No, he does. I never gave Nightwolf enough credit until I read this yesterday, but it kind of makes you wonder, like, how did he feel from Grace as well? Because literally, his whole thing here is like after he gave up all the sins, he was no longer allowed to be in the NetherRealm. Where and 9 and all the way to 11, he's a Revenant.
Yeah, that's true. Interesting.
So he shouldn't even be allowed to be a Revenant.
Yeah.
After being dead.
My guess is that's just shitty writing.
Oh yeah.
Them not taking into account what the character is.
What he is. I mean, literally what should have happened, and I think because they opened the door to it now, it can. If they reboot and do the same thing again, like Sindel kills everyone, he kills himself. Instead of him being a revenant, he'd just be reincarnated to the next thing,
Yeah.
to the next cycle. I'm sorry, the next person in the cycle. But let's see. But no, that's pretty much all we can really say from here. Like once we get to the endings, let's actually listen to them. Yeah, we can talk more about it then. But like bio wise, he's literally he knows what's going on, so he does this instead, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Ermac.
Yeah. Before we move on to Ermac, I'll say the secondary costume for Nightwolf is just pure garbage.
Yeah, I would say like I like the first, and same with Boraicho as well. I prefer the
Yeah.
first one.
Me too. Me too. All right. You said Ermac, right?
Yep.
All right. Let me pull him up. Where did he go? There he is.
So
Okay.
you
I was
speak
literally
in
on
what
him.
third person?
Sorry. Well, yeah. Ermac talks in third person because that's, of course, because he's not just one person. He's made up
Uh,
of.
uh, uh,
Oh, sorry.
they are not just one person.
Sorry. What?
They are not just one person.
Ah, yeah. My bad. My bad, guys. Yeah, they are not one person. They are many. Uh, yeah. Anyway, this kind of gives us a good. Is this the first time that they really go into detail about this? I think so, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
they talk a little about in Kenchi's uh, conquest because it tells you here that he met with the warrior Kenchi
yeah.
to help. But
Okay. So basically, yeah, they are the fusion of souls from dead warriors created by Shao Kahn, to basically obey him, and they're all basically his slaved. Ermac was his enforcer, or they were his enforcer, until Earthrealm warrior Kenshi released them, and they're basically now free to choose whatever destiny they prefer. They encountered another person, much like Kenshi, who understood their suffering, and basically they want to atone for the crimes and the sins that they committed in Shao Kahn's name, and they decided to help Liu Kang to liberate basically everybody that was under control of the Dragon King. Shao Kahn was dead, but it seemed like his essence lives on in Onaga. It's all kind of like they're actually manipulating the very fabric of the realm. So that's interesting, right? This gives Ermac a lot of progression. They aren't just Shao Kahn's bitch basically, because I feel like in the new timeline they kind of make it seem like that they aren't really progressing towards something, whereas in this you immediately see like they are going towards in a different direction.
oh, gotta cook. Um, I agree to that. First of all, on that, no. Well, I will say this. First of all, his bio is similar to No New Sci-Fi as well, where they were forced to obey Saints. Not Saints on
Shao Kahn?
Shao Kahn. Yeah, and I get why. I understand why, because that's literally what we were talking about the other day, where if you were back in any era when you are just a brand new ninja, you get the same treatment of you are just a warrior for Shao Kahn, and you'll do whatever he says. That's literally all you get from him.
Yep.
Um, but now they kind of show you that the fact that they knew that how much that sucked because they said that well like yeah he was with Shao Kahn for all this time and now and it turns like where two people go down the same path and literally one can go left, one can go right. Where Nusaba continued to work for Shao Kahn the entire time, up until the point he killed Goro, remember? But surprisingly, they didn't mention that in here, but they told us that in his ending, and that confirmed that is what Goro was technically dead. But Ermac went to the side of good, where Nusaba went to like just be more evil. Um, Another thing as well to keep in mind is like his another one of the endings that are canon, and this is like I said, um, crap, what is it? Who was it? Nightwolf ending where it's like where it says happened did happen. Um, Two things to that though as well. The being there, I didn't understand until I read it yesterday, but Ermac's little part where he says like he felt like Shao Kahn's essence, or someone was manipulating them from the fabric of the realms. That's what I picked from that was that is the one being as well.
Mm-hmm.
That confirmed the existence
Yeah.
of that.
Manipulating everything and making certain things feel like other things.
Yeah, but he's almost who can sense that. Because him, I think, because him himself is not real. He's just a bunch of souls.
Yeah. He can feel
But,
things that
yeah,
are beyond that are beyond regular people.
yeah. So since we're not going to read the whole ending, so we're not until we listen to them later.
Yep.
Um, at the second page, you see the Sonya, Johnny, Kung Lao, and Jax and Katana.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone else is in their MK Daily Alliance costume but Katana.
Yeah. Where
So
she's
that's the
dressed
only reason
like
why I had
Melina. Yeah.
exactly. So I didn't understand that for the longest time, but I finally put two and two together. But it's literally a situation where we went back to the palette swap thing where instead of making like we're having with her own costume, which I'm not sure why they didn't do that. They had her be a palette swap with Melina without the mask. But it does answer the question of why Melina was able to convince everyone else that she was Katana, though. And she's doing the same thing. But that's all I have to say for this one, though. Ermac, overall, I do like the first costume more. I will say that, too.
Uh. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't like the pirate bandana too much on either one. I don't know. It kind of looks like a pirate to me. But yeah, I definitely prefer the
I,
first one too. I like the sleeves more.
I think it's just the coloring of that red and his body just being like grayish.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but the costume
Now I
overall is
will
pretty
say
good.
that yeah. Now I will say that the first one does give me more of a mummy look and an Egyptian like King Tut armor look, but that's all.
Yeah, I've always kind of associated him with the mummy actually.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense. He doesn't really. He has a body, but he doesn't really get to do much. He's all souls.
Yeah. All right, so we got four more. We have Liu Kang, Cabal, Li Mei, and Raiden.
All right. So go ahead and do
Um,
Paul.
Cabal. Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right. So basically, Cabal had left the Black Dragon and everything that it stood for, but the sum he would always remain basically connected to that, to the Black Dragon. Eventually, he did decide he was defeated by Movado, and he left him for dead and took his hook swords too as a trophy. Uh, he was then called by or rescued by Havoc, who was of course the cleric of chaos, and he convinced him to basically restart the Black Dragon. Inspired by Havoc, he set out to find and kill Movado and of the Red Dragon. He basically goes on to kind of describe how the Red Dragon, yes, they're secretive and it's hard to find them, but they are not invisible. So basically, he kills Movado and he has his hook swords back. And he goes on to recruit people into the Black Dragon. Now he will lead his fellow dragons to Outworld, and then that's where basically Havoc has something planned for him. So it's basically an opportunity for him to test out their skills and see who's good at what. So essentially, this is kind of explaining the reformation of the Black Dragon under Cabal.
Right.
And of course, his connection to
And
Havoc.
yeah, which kind of shows you as well because in his ending, him and and they're ending together because it's pretty much like all connected. But in their ending, that they are working together, Cabal and Havoc,
Yeah.
and have. Here's how crazy. Even people didn't read this part. This pretty much shows who Havoc is as a character and Cabal's ending. They work together. They take down the Dragon King. He steals Onaga's heart for the whole purpose of pretty much bringing people back to life. I think. I just listen to it later. I'm not gonna read through it all right now. But Cabal turns on Havoc and pretty much takes the Dragon King's heart for himself. And Havoc was very much impressed. Like he looks like he's screaming, but you can't tell he's laughing as well. I feel like he'd be laughing in this picture.
It definitely could be, yeah.
Yeah, like this is him happy. Because he said he was most impressed by the treachery of Cabal. But that's who Havoc is. He doesn't care about good or evil. He just wants to make chaos.
He just wants anarchy.
Who can make more? Exactly.
And I think that's one of the things that make him a cool character, to be honest.
Yeah.
Cabal wise, when it comes to costumes, which one are you going with?
Primary.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely looks better.
That was actually supposed to be his MK3 costume in MK3.
It looks pretty much just like it, doesn't it? What's the difference?
Yeah, well, the whole thing is that they couldn't add the jacket back to him.
Yeah.
So now they could, and yeah. And now they went so far away from that. So, yay.
Yeah, well, they took a good thing and they love to just make it look kind of garbage. But anyway, well, actually, to be fair, Cabal in a lot of his outfit costume does look good in MK11. Just some of them are really, really bad.
Yeah.
All right. From there, we have Liu Kang, we have Li Mei, and we have Raiden. I say we leave Raiden and Liu Kang for last.
Yeah, well, we also have Shao Kahn and Goro, too, technically.
If you wanted to consider them, yeah. Friend chained.
Well, because they were in the GameCube version. So they are canon.
That's right. They're GameCube. Yeah, you're right.
All right. The thing is, so everyone here is canon, but the good thing is that they don't have. So the only person who's really not canon to this whole thing is Jax. Katana is canon. Blaze is canon because his whole thing with Armageddon, and Frost is canon for what she did with Sub-Zero. But Jax is the only person who's not really important for her.
Mm-hmm.
But so we can go ahead and do Li Mei, Shao Kahn, Goro. The people from Chain don't have bios; they just have their endings.
Yeah.
Wait. Let's see. Blaze has one. Let's check the other ones real quick. Go ahead and pull up Li Mei for me. I'll get started on that 1 second soon.
All right. I'm getting attacked by a
bios
mosquito
here.
as we speak. Fucking
That what?
I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes and I'm getting just lit up. Anyway, there was one flying right on my face.
Red read them as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
all right,
let's go ahead and start with Li Mei.
Li Mei. All right. Basically, Li Mei had entered the tournament held by the Deadly Alliance, hoping to win the freedom of her enslaved town. Shang Tsung and Quan Chi definitely had no intention of giving her the reward, giving anybody a reward basically for winning it, and instead they decided that they were going to take over the soul of the winner and they were going to use it to basically reanimate the last of the ancient army of corpses. Yeah. If it wasn't for Bo' Rai Cho, she would have become an evil servant for the Deadly Alliance. Bo' Rai Cho brought her back to health, and she will basically forever be in his debt. And the brief moment that her soul was occupied by basically when she had her soul transplanted, or when it was being transplanted, because it was for brief moments, she basically was changed in ways that she will never understand. And Bo' Rai Cho's training has trained her well while she was with him, and she does feel like she has a duty to outworld like she never did before. But she can definitely feel like there's something strange that is that is drawing her to the new power that's taken over the realm.
Yeah. So before we start talking about that, which costume you like more, first or second?
Probably second, honestly. Second, yeah, I think the second one might be a little bit too overboard, but I think the second one.
Well, I get the second one because she's actually in the military now, and also she with the whole ending thing. What happens to her ending?
Yeah, it has more of a. I can see what you mean. It has more of a uniform look,
Yeah,
and of course she's
but I
becoming.
think,
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk
but
about the
even
ending
this
later.
for who is okay though. Like for like what they do in MKX, MK11 stuff like that. This would be okay. Like they can get the facial structure right. They can do characters like this. They can show a little bit more skin if they want, but it's like I'm okay with stuff like this too. But let's see. Well, they're going to go talk to the story. Talk about stories now. So pretty much, there's not really much to say much story wise because it literally picks up um from Deadly Alliance. Now, my only question is what happened to her afterward because here's the thing. So I can kind of justify her ending now after reading this. So let's say like that for a brief moment, her corp she changed her in a way she would never understand, right?
Yeah.
Well, who is the army loyal to?
Well, theoretically, to whoever has the amulet, but realistically, to the Dragon King.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. I said that kind of because even when we watched the Deception's intro, like the army literally kneeled for Onaga.
Yeah.
So I think they always know like who's really in charge. I'm still wondering what his amulet did in general, but all that aside, my point being is for maybe it didn't like whole transformation was to let's say what we were on the amulet. Onaga has the amulet now. And with that being said though, it kind of makes sense why she would be the only person affected still probably that's not like undead. So she could be the one she probably is in controlled by Onaga still without really knowing it.
Yeah, she's definitely got some. She's definitely got that going to her. That connection is there, and you can definitely justify the ending. I would say.
Oh yeah. I mean, they kind of set it up. I never knew why she turned evil in the end, but now reading this, I understand what happened. But they
Mm-hmm.
kind of give me an idea of what happened. So either I'd say either the spell she's under a spell still, and that's what's going on, or like I said, the whole or they showing the spell and the amulet was controlling her. So that's why in the end she betrays. Well, she does mechanically. I need to know that really too. But for as far as I'm aware, because in the Armageddon fights, she fights on the side of good.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Yeah. Well, she gets impaled by Hortaro, and she's on the same side as Katana, so that's why I'm thinking she's good. But I mean, that's all you can really say about May, though.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to move on to? You pick.
Shao Kahn?
Yeah, Shao Kahn. All right. I like the fact that the
Oh yeah.
images are clearly from, or at least they look like they're from MK3.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, at least the first one is.
Yeah. All right. So basically, it says his defeat at the hands of the Earth Realms had left him weakened, and that his dominance in Outworld was definitely waning. Katana's forces were closing in, and it was only a matter of time before they would overrun his stronghold. Using a powerful magical item retrieved long ago by his minions, I created a clone of myself to draw my enemies' attention while escaping to the wilds. When I have regained my strength, I will destroy all those who oppose my rule. Though I had gone to long lengths to ensure my old nemesis Onaga would never be revived, I have discovered that he has indeed returned from beyond death, and as holy man prophesied. He now commands the Tarkatan Horde, a vicious fighting force once loyal to me. When I have killed Onaga and regained control over Outworld, they will pay for the treason with their lives. So the reason I read it is because, well, I mean, honestly, like this is one of the ones I never read, even though I have Unchained. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like I think this was a decent way of explaining how it was possible that Shao Kahn was still alive. I don't think it's necessarily completely believable, but at the end of the day, it is canon. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it does make sense. Well, it's very happy canon because he's back alive. And the whole
yeah,
point was that he was killed by the Deadly Alliance. But it kind of makes you wonder, too, like, if they really had killed him, like, could the Deadly Alliance really have killed him if it was real Shao Kahn?
I mean, I would have thought that they probably would have had a hard time. Like I don't know, like if there was two of them, so maybe, but he didn't put up too much of a fight. It seemed based on the intro.
Yeah. Well, we don't know because they just literally just all we see is his head, his helmet hit the ground.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, it makes sense why he's here, but it's just like one of those things that really. Now, I will say this: the look they have for him in the combat card is terrible.
yeah, that's for sure.
Like out of the two, I like both, but I like the first one more because it's more of a traditional Shao Kahn look. Out of the two costumes he has, but when you look at the combat card, when it talks about who he is and all the things, his history and who his foes are and stuff like that, that's strange right here, actually. I say why I'm talking about in a second, but this looks like a very like a cosplay version of Shao Kahn.
Definitely doesn't look great at all. Yeah.
But the reason I called in the hour quick, and reading the card. I want you to read everything out. I'm gonna start off with the answer to it. Place of origin,
Outworld,
alignment,
evil,
foes,
Melina. Oh, sorry. Katana, Liu Kang, Raiden,
and allies.
Melina, Baraka, Shang Tsung, Reiko, Rain, and Shiva. Of course, the fact that he was killed by Shang Tsung doesn't really make him an ally, does it?
That wasn't even the one I was talking about, though. The Shiva one, because
Oh
he
yeah,
killed Shiva.
that's right. Because yeah,
But that's pretty much my thing with that. But but what he does next after it's all said and done, though, after the defeat of Onaga by Shijinku, he is he takes over our world by pretty much he thinks that Katana is sitting on his throne. He's ready to kill Melina, and she discusses like, no, it's me. Like, oh, well, go do the other stuff. I'm back now. That's literally what happened. She instead of like tried to defend her own throne that she had for a while, because after Onaga died, Melina took over, and for that brief moment, she was ruling, and Shao Kahn came back and took over again.
yeah.
Yeah, but yep, that's all real quick. But
All right,
that's
so I
all Shao Kahn.
guess we can
I
go
got
over
Goro.
to go to Goro. All right, you go ahead and take away Goro.
Yeah, you read literally three in a row. And I was trying to stop you at one point. Like, fuck it, you just keep
My
on
bad,
reading.
man. I'm just I'm in a rhythm. I'm sleepy as
Yeah,
shit too. It's almost one.
we're almost done.
Yeah, I know. I'm not in a hurry.
We got five more after this.
Yeah.
Our army lied with my Shao Kahn's armies attempted to destroy my old master Shao Kahn. It was rumored that he was weakened and victory was inevitable. During the last battle against Kano's militia, however, I was a Shadow Warrior New Saiba. So that does confirm that New Saiba did kind of kill him. Well, I do not know for how long I lay dying on the battlefield, but when I regained my consciousness, I was greeted by the last person I expect to see. Shao Kahn found me near death upon the battlefield through, he was not wearing his armor. So that does concern me a little bit. But I'll read the rest of this and I'll finish this. I recognized his voice truly was truly him, and he used what little power he had left to revive me and asked me to join him once again to destroying the rising power of our world. In return, he would give the Shokan favor and status and banish the centaurs. I accept his offer and place my royal seal on the disfigured corpse. As a fallen Shokan warrior, together we fled into hiding, regaining our strength and for the coming battle. So, first of all, I will say that his look is pretty much just like his MK1 look. His first costume.
Pretty
Second one
much,
looks
yeah.
like something warrior Shokin wear.
Yeah, that one looks like shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mind it, but it's literally like saying, well, we have three different versions of Shokin. We got Kintaro, which is the tiger one, which is the only tiger one we've ever seen. We have Shiva, which is the only female Shokin we've ever seen. And we have Goro. And that's going to be like traditional that's like traditional Shokin. So it kind of the same, it's like the Baraka treatment. Like this is what all the other Shokins look like now. They have Goro, they look like this. I mean, at least in the MKX comics, we see more versions of them, but right now that's what we had, which I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I like it, so I'm alright with it.
Yeah. His combat card is from MK4, though, I can tell you that much for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. One thing we didn't mention back in MK1, at least I don't think I did. Goro was the only one who's obviously wasn't an actual person.
What do you mean?
Where,
You mean like
well, like we had Daniel Levito, not Daniel. Why is it Daniel Levito?
Richard Divisio?
Yeah, but we had him play like characters as well. Goro was the only person who was like stop motion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But um, the reason I said I was a little concerned about his bio though is Shao Kahn's not. Shao Kahn doesn't look like a lot of people, and he barely wore clothes as is. So was Shao Kahn just running around nude or something, and he found Goro?
That's an interesting image.
Oh, then that's literally what I get. You know who I got that from though? The guy from Shad and Razor on the Goro one. So it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, is that what happened?
I mean, I'm not against it.
I mean, it's like seeing your boss naked though.
Depends on the boss. If it's my current alleged boss, then yeah, that's not fun.
Exactly. But that's literally what happens. But that's literally, but then all but Goro's bio confirmed is that Musawa is the one who killed him. Well, who had him dying now, but that just shows that Katana's ending. Well, it was obviously not canon because literally after after Goro died, they won the battle, and then they started seeing people from the Deadly Alliance, and she met up with Liu Kang. Not Liu Kang. Well, of course she didn't meet up with Liu Kang, but she met up with Raiden and them to defeat the Deadly Alliance. Come out. So she never did have the funeral for Goro never happened. But yeah, that's all we have to say about Goro. Because his literally whole thing is Shao Kahn said, if I give you favor, would you work with me? He's like, sure.
Yeah, fuck it.
So the whole treaty with the centaurs, the Daniel meant nothing.
Yep. Shocker, right?
Yeah. But Kiyomi Katana was dead though, so it kind of makes it almost pointless to be loyal to someone who's dead now.
Yeah. Fair enough.
He had Miguel there, but the whole thing was Katana was the mediator for it all, not Sindel. Katana's more of an ambassador than Tanya is. Okay. Uh, you want to do Blaze, Frost, Jax, or Katana?
I'll do Blaze. Sorry, I haven't pulled up.
Okay.
All right, so essentially, what Blaze says is that his entire purpose for thousands of years was to monitor the strength of the world combatants. The people that created him had predicted that when the warriors became too strong, and it was time for him to basically, that the end was basically drawing near, and that their actions would eventually determine the fate of of all the combatants and would prevent Armageddon. Unfortunately, it seems that one of the brothers had been prematurely revived, and of course, this is leading into Armageddon. During his quest, he was overpowered by the holy men who served Onaga, and for ages he was basically held back by sorcery, and he wasn't able to uh, quite understand, I guess, the growing strength of the Kichao warriors. Once he becomes free, he discovers basically who had become extremely powerful and those who had become so powerful that the realm couldn't actually sustain them. So he sounds the call, and the sleeping brother will soon awaken, which of course is Taven, which we don't know yet. So I don't know why I said that.
No, we do know this because this game came out
Oh, that's right.
after Armageddon.
You're right. On the PSP, it came out way after. Yep, you're right. All right. Well,
And
there's
his
that.
ending is canon too, but we don't have to read it right now.
Yeah. No point.
But Blaze literally he keeps the same moves going forward. He doesn't have an alternate costume. It would have been cool to see like a blue version of Blaze though.
Definitely would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
we didn't do Raiden either.
we can come back to him because
Yep.
he's kind of like one of the
He's the most
more
important one.
darker
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, his ending just goes on to the fact of pretty much saying he completed all his duties, so now he can finally become the last fight for the whole thing that happened at Armageddon.
Yeah.
Okay. Frost. Man, this writing is so small. I'm reading off my Xbox, so it's kind of like
Ouch. That
you
sounds rough.
gotta zoom in.
You want me to do it?
Oh yeah, well just zoom in. Huh?
I can. I haven't pulled up my
No, I
computer
got it.
first. Okay.
I got it. It's just like I just zoom in a little bit and just read page by page, so I won't even see the other page. So I'm done with one, like how it should be. Okay. I have made my move to see control the Lin Kuei from Sub-Zero. He had let his guard down, and I took the Dragon Medallion from him. I could feel the power coursing through me, and that was the last thing I remember. I awoke in this tomb, surrounded by frozen corpse, and I must still be in our world. The medallion is gone. I have no doubt that Sub-Zero took it from me and left me here to die. He will pay dearly. Wow, so she is crazy as shit. You mentioned that, but still, she's crazy as shit.
Yeah, she's a psycho.
So instead of looking for him around our world still, because she thinks he's long gone, which he is. He's in Netherrealm by this point. I made my way back to Earthrealm and returned to the Lin Kuei Temple to defeat Sub-Zero. No one here has suspected my presence. I wait hiding and listening to their chatters for some due to his whereabouts. He's still in our world, they say, and the murmurs of a new growing enemy strength in the realm. I only hope that Sub-Zero survives the new threat. He will pay dearly upon his return. And let's see. Sub-Zero returns to. So nothing here says that what made her go crazy though. Like what caused her dementia. They just literally at that her ending.
And unfortunately, we
So
don't really
something
know
like what,
anything about that.
Yeah. When we see it in Armageddon, but like I was just hoping like it would show like what truly is going on, like what made her go this way, like or show the fact that she was seeing Sub-Zero as other people. But I think the only we have to go off of is just the ending. And since we see Armageddon, we know that that's what's happening still. She thought Taven was Dagon. I mean, was Sub-Zero. All right, you got Jax.
All right, we'll do. Hold on, where is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah, because he has that shit costume.
Next to Frost.
Yep. All right. No, because I have them all. I have all the tabs open. I just wanted to find which where I put them. All right. So, during our assault on the Deadly Alliance, we were overwhelmed by Tarkatan hordes. The last thing I remember seeing was Raiden blasting his way into the main hall. He was later resurrected by Onaga, who controlled my mind and commanded me to enforce his will. My brutality as Onaga's pawn will haunt me forever. If not for Liu Kang, I'd still be under the Dragon King's spell, killing the people I dedicated my life to protect. Now that my soul is unchained, I'm coming for you, Onaga. It's payback time. Yeah, so
Okay,
he's
that's
basically
kind of
just kind of
yeah.
controlled.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like his MKX story where after he's freed from being a revenant, like he's holding constant. But instead of being a sad shell of a man he was in MKX, he becomes enraged. And his Indian's not canon out there, says that he killed Onaga, so that we can all just ignore that now. But they did Armageddon, so it's like kind of hard to see that going anywhere. That didn't go anywhere. But that's all we have to say for Jax, and let's go ahead and do Katana, then we do Raiden and Liu Kang.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Let me do this again. For thousands of years, I fought skilled warriors, each new one seemingly more advanced than the last. But this Dragon King was more powerful than I've ever imagined possible. He resurrected me from death and enslaved my soul. I had no choice but to kill in his name. While under Onaga's control, I shared his thoughts. I understood the source of his powers, six objects, and his possessions shielded him from harm. He must, we must use the knowledge to defeat him for the safety of Edenia and all around. Still, I sense the return of Onaga. I sense the return of Onaga is the prelude of a larger conflict. So partially, the first is just also just explaining like how she got where she was, as well, like Jax, controlled by Onaga, and how she was the one who kind of knew what was going on with it. Because I guess, I guess the theory is still that Liu Kang freed them all beforehand. Then Jinko went to go try to fight him. So I guess she gave him the tools. Kind of like how she gave Liu Kang the tools to beat Sub-Zero in the movie. She gave him the tools to help beat Onaga. Use the elements that bring life to all realms. There we go.
Basically, yeah. The element that brings life. Water.
To all the realms. Not in chaos. That stuff is under lock and key to Hartaro. And her ending is canon to a point as well. We gotta look at Armageddon's bios and see what's truly gonna happen from there. But she sees Blaze, and Blaze warns her about what's going to happen in Edenia with the Pyramid of August. And she's just like, pretty much like, why can't I just get 1 year of no bullshit, of no fighting people? Like, all I do is fight, fight, and fight. And I hate this more than anything because it's the bullshit someone would tell you. It's as much bullshit as he must wins. She falls to her knees and says, when will it end? Every victory leads to more conflict with a greater adversary. Blaze replies to this. If all goes as planned, your enemies will be destroyed. Well, here's the thing. So Dahlia wanted to strip them of their powers. Not Blaze, August wanted to kill them all. So depending on whose plan it is, because Taven's thing confirms something different too. But if it's Dahlia's plan, everyone's still gonna be alive. So her enemies won't be dead. If it's August's plan, everyone will be dead. So it's kind of like that whole "he must win." Like, okay, I can do this. It's like, oh, that means I have to die too if my enemies die. But overall, that's literally all I have to say about that one, though. That's her story and that's her ending. And her ending is canon as far as I'm aware of right now.
Yeah, once we get to Armageddon, we'll see a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I'm aware that Johnny Cage is the one who is bring all the combatants together, but I need to find out for sure, like, what's going on. All right, you want Lou? You want Raiden?
I'll do Raiden.
Okay.
All right, so Raiden was aware of Onaga as the former ruler of Outworld. Shao Kahn was his advisor before he poisoned the Dragon King and stole Outworld for himself. But Onaga had returned, and he was somehow more powerful than before. And it seemed like his powers had actually been modified from previously. And those powers had only been seen by the Elder Gods. Even the Might of the Deadly Alliance couldn't stop him. Even with him actually basically aligning himself with it. By the time his energies reformed in Earthrealm, he was aware that of all that had conspired, all that had transpired. He was disgusted by what happened by the mortals, and it was Shujinko's vanity and his desire for glory that led to the return of the Dragon King. He will no longer allow men to basically determine what happens in the realm, and he'll be taking matters into his own hands, and all will fear the God of Thunder, aka Dark Raiden.
Yeah. Now, first of all, I'm going to say this. I thought Raiden was a zombie too.
Well,
Like how we had a zombie Liu Kang, I thought it was like a zombie Raiden,
okay.
especially the one without the hat.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was zombie Raiden. Like, oh, I know the whole dark thing as well, but that being said, you gotta see where he's coming from. And he's been around for millions of years. He wiped out the dinosaurs, was his last fight. He survived through two more combats with Outworld. He lost his best student. He lost everyone, and then on top of all that as well, he died trying to stop Onaga because someone else wanted to pretty much have all the glory in the world. Unless I wouldn't say he only wanted the glory. He was actually, yeah. I will blame it on that, and we'll see it as well when we go to the Deception story. But um, there's a part in an early part, like when you first meet Damashi, where and this is it kind of like I think this is where people like knew from the fact that Damashi was full of shit because he gives him the offer and then she was like a little worried about it at first. He's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess, and Damashi's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go talk to your friend. I think they're talking about the guy who pretended to be sing the song, but it's like, I was supposed to ask him and said, he probably wants to do this quest. And she's like, no, I'll do it, I'll do it. And for 60 years, he is doing all this stuff, and and this is what happens in the end.
He's basically the epitome of a fucking idiot and just basically a bitch.
But because he wanted the glory of
Yep.
serving the elder gods, that was that little rank saying, hey, I did this, what did you guys do for the past 60 years? I kind of see why Raiden would be pissed off with Shujinko.
Oh, absolutely. I think
Yeah.
everybody should be.
Oh yeah. Now
Mhm.
his childhood sucked, but
Yeah.
his ending was just like he spoke. He's the only person who spoke. Him and Onaga were the only people who spoke about their own endings. Everyone else was like Sujinku, and he and that his ending he kills Sujinku. He said, yeah, it wasn't his fault completely, but fuck that guy anyway. I want to kill him. Anyone else who steps out of line. Here's the thing too. Here's the thing. Everyone else, and it's not even about the whole history he's been through. Because literally everyone else has been issues from other places, Netherrealm, the heavens, Outworld. Those have all been his problems. The person who caused the most issues came from his own realm.
By Shujinko, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I think Raiden had an interesting arc here, and this is kind of where we really start to see him becoming as important as he should be. I mean, if you think about somebody who is essentially the protector of Earthrealm and so much shit happens, I think he probably should have had a more prominent role early on because the whole tournament thing pretty much died out pretty quickly. But whatever. I feel like Dark Raiden was definitely a cool thing, and for them introducing him in this game was a nice little. I'm not gonna say a twist necessarily, but it was definitely a cool thing to push towards Armageddon. It's just really a shame that they never really did it correctly.
Yeah. Well, even in Armageddon, it kind of show you like the potential he had because, but MK9 completely wiped that to the side. It's like no, never mind because, and MK9 even show you this happened too.
Yeah.
um, so in Armageddon, he is after you have seen where Taven is fighting on Onaga, Shao Kahn, um, Quan Chi, and Sing Song. We're having a little conference meeting. I said that I literally expect I just picture all of them in like in suits sitting down at a board meeting. But all that being said, though, right after they leave and start, they even say, "Let's go to war." Rain pops up to fight Taven. He said, "Like he made a deal with not Sing Song with Shao Kahn that if he pretty much stops Taven from coming to Armageddon, he won't attack Earthrealm."
And that's good enough for Raiden, I guess.
Exactly. I think the quote I can't remember what Taven said after that, but just like in general, like it kind of it looks on paper if you don't know what's going on, it sounds stupid, but knowing this now, it kind of makes sense now, like why he would take that deal. But I mean, Ray, but I think because that's all we ever gets of it, because I think they show that same scene of Taven versus Raiden in the whole conference meeting with the five of them and MK9, and they just ignore that completely at the beginning where Raiden and Shao Kahn are fighting. But that's another question I need to ask people then, see what their idea, what they think about that whole problem or plot hole. But we're on the last character now. We're not going to rebuild Sujinko because we're going to blow his story by soon anyway. The sorcerer sings song had killed me and consumed my soul. I remained trapped within his being, tormented by his evil, along with many other victims of his vampiric soul draining. Through Sing Song's eyes, we witnessed the battle with Raiden, who sacrificed himself to stop Onaga. Raiden destroyed Sing Song, and our souls were set free and sent into the heavens. I remain in our world, however, to aid my friends to their fight against Onaga. Why someone would desecrate my grave and reanimate my body, I cannot say. Somehow the corpse remain. Somehow the court retains my knowledge of martial arts and killed many innocents. Through I'm not the predator through the slaying, I cannot help but feel responsible for the brutality committed by my corporal form. The battle between mind and body has begun. Next goes into his ending as well. And this is something that I wonder too. Like, well, first of all, let me start to this background. Yeah, that's Raiden. So we know for sure that I believe for sure that this is like Raiden brought back Liu Kang's body at first, just to like, have like a loyal uh, fighter that he trusts at least. But as you can see, he started to kill the Shaolin warriors in his ending.
Right, because he was
So after
corrupted. Yeah.
yeah, so after Liu Kang freed his friends from Onaga's control, he literally go find. See, I don't know that either because I don't think this is canon. Then I mean, it's a good story that could have worked, but I don't think it's canon because I am aware that Katana and Nightwolf takes turns holding Liu Kang's soul.
Yeah,
But
I'm
and
not
he's
sure.
one
I'm
of the
not
last
sure
things that
about that one.
yeah. But the ideal thing I was gonna say though would make sense a little bit is that Raiden pretty much we can see in his ending that Raiden pretty much fused both the soul and the dead body of Liu Kang, and that would kind of explains like how his body came to Armageddon to Edenia. But at the same time, that could have happened if um, Kitana and Kung Lao are holding not Kung Lao, Kitana and Nightwolf are holding his souls at different point in times, and his spirit is still alive in the end. Like the only people who were left alive after Armageddon was Raiden, Shao Kahn, Liu Kang's ghost, and Tatum. Now, of course, MK9 doesn't confirm that at all, but that's literally what John Vogel said.
And John Vogel is usually pretty reliable. So
Well, John Vogel was one who wrote those and wrote the
yeah,
bios for Armageddon after it came out.
yeah.
Plus, he was still that's what back when MK9 came out, or right before MK9 came out.
Yeah, so I
So,
actually talked to him before a couple of times. He's pretty accessible on Instagram.
mm, huh. So I definitely want to try it out soon.
Yeah,
But
just text him, send him a text message, and he'll answer for sure.
yeah, no, I agree. But that's the entire roster of Mortal Kombat Exception though, and
Yeah,
Unchained, and the GameCube version.
covered literally everything there was to cover in it. I
Yeah,
guess the only thing we can really say is, I mean, the story is essentially following Shujinko up and from when he gets convinced for greed and for glory by Damaji to go on this quest to get the Kamidogus, and then it all builds up. He learns pretty much everybody's moves, all that stuff, and it just he goes through all the realms, and it builds up to where, of course, the Dragon King shows up when Quan Chi, Raiden, and Shang Tsung are all fighting, and then like it was basically said in Raiden's part of the intros, he wasn't able to hold off, and of course we see it in the intro too. He wasn't able to hold off um, the Dragon King, and it's basically up to Shujinko to undo all the bullshit that he did in the past 60 some odd years. And that's pretty much
yeah.
where it ends with Shujinko beating the Dragon King, and then that leads us towards Armageddon.
Well, here's the thing. So he he starts to whoop the Dragon King's ass. Don't get me wrong. Actually, let me see. No, I didn't show you that. But when all things are said and done, like I said, knife whip right before Jingo hit that final blow on Onaga. Knife whip pulls his soul down to another realm. Liu Kang freed the souls of everyone from Daily Alliance who fought the Daily Alliance. And Shao Kahn pretty much brought back Shang Tsung. That's why he's alive as well. But all that being said, though, Sujinko technically didn't even beat Onaga. That was literally the plan of Ermac, Liu Kang, and Nightwolf.
Getting carried to the end.
Yeah. Nightwolf took literally all the sins of his people to trap Onaga.
Yeah.
Ermac and Liu Kang freed all his friends. Everyone was there, so he was able to absorb. So he's the only person who fought the Dragon King. Don't get me wrong there. He fought him and weakened him, but he didn't kill him. But because literally, I mean, he doesn't show it in his ending, but so pretty much and I guess if we want to be little dicks like we are, he beat a reptile. Let's say that.
I mean,
I won't.
Shocker the reptile is the one that gets beat down, right?
Yeah, like it's like he's fighting him, and then it's like, yeah, I'm winning, I'm winning. This like he finally puts beating up reptiles. Like, oh, well, this isn't as fun anymore.
Yeah.
But no, that's all deception though.
Yeah, it's this is gonna be I think our longest episode ever. It's like 4 hours long, four
Well,
hours
this one was
plus more or less.
yeah.
Um,
But
yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We both we definitely put in a lot of energy to do it, right? Yeah,
if you stick on this, still here to the end, and kudos to you right now. Definitely feel like we're going to split this episode up, of course, because staying off for 4 hours, we get if you only ever finish it. Hell, it's hard for me to do the 2 hours ones with Shad and Razor.
Yeah,
But
I'll put it all together and see how long exactly it is, and I'll probably divide it into two parts. Yeah.
2 to 3, I
Yeah.
mean, let me do 3 and be okay with that. And just put in the explanation why we didn't do it. But the whole point being is we appreciate you guys listening through the whole thing, though. But Deception was one had one of the bigger rosters, and we will find the actual bios and an actual layout of the story before we even touch Armageddon first, just so we don't go to some legacy. Because a lot of people, we can explain why they're doing there, but a lot of people just are just there because they're good or evil,
Yeah.
and they were in the game before. Not everyone has a role like we would like them to have. But any closing remarks you have about it?
No, just the Deception is one of my favorite games. I always put it among the top three. It's just the amount of content in the game, the amount of story that's in the game. Just because more than anything, not like necessarily the fact that there's so much story. It's just that the way it's presented, having that conquest mode was, I don't know, it's just amazing, and it was something that I think that attracts people of different genres too. So people that play action adventures, they can enjoy it. People who play anything that's not a fighting game, they can go and play this version of Mortal Kombat, and they will have plenty of interesting things for them too. So I just feel like it was something that transcended the fighter game genre, and overall content wise, it was just a fantastic game.
All right. No, that's all I have to say. Like I said, we discussed it before, and I enjoyed it. I will say that Deception is definitely one of the games. Like I said, we both mentioned our history with the game and why we both love and respect this game. I do wish that, like I said, that it set a tone that people don't realize, I guess, because I'm not sure if you did or not, but when it came to the story mode, I realized that was like the first time we had that problem where you don't get to understand everyone's story because of the fact that it literally follows one person, one way only. Same with our current ones we have where we only follow the good guys. We don't know what happens to the bad guys or anything else that feels like important to us at least.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like the middle ground would be cover the good guys and the bad guys essentially. Give that way
Yeah.
both sides have plenty of opportunities to win, and it gives you the chance to actually narrate a better story.
Yeah. No, I agree to that.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll be something that they change going forward. We can only really hope, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
well,
We'll see.
yeah.
But I guess
We
that's
keep
it.
bitching enough.
Yeah. I guess I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up because this was a long episode, but one I think we definitely covered pretty much everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, which is the best way you can support a small channel like this one. And make sure if you haven't checked out some of our previous episodes, then please check them out. And of course, we'll be doing Armageddon soon. We're trying to build this all up until the movie comes out, and we'll be covering that movie. Hopefully, enjoying it a lot and giving you guys plenty of content. So hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you next episode.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Doo, doo.
Round of applause. Excellent performance.
That took a lot of prep from you guys. Now I have like asthma problem right now, so that took a lot. Woo!
All right, well, that's a good way to end it. See you guys.